Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below to see all of those discounted games. Hello my friends, just got back from Gen Con. I had a chance to take a peek at Lord of the Rings, the Duel version, the new version, basically a reimplementation of Seven Wonders Duel, but I also got a chance to play it. So I'm going to show you very high level how it works, how it's different from Seven Wonders Duel, and then give you sort of a first impressions on the back end. Now, keeping in mind that this basically is a re-implementation of Seven Wonders Duel, so again, I'm only going to tell you what's different. If you have no idea what Seven Wonders Duel is, it's one of the most popular two-player games ever, and I've already reviewed that game in detail. You can check that out on my channel as well. So here we go. In Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth, you're still drafting cards from pyramid style or different shapes over 3 rounds, just like the original Seven Wonders Duel. There's no more scoring at the end of the game. It's all immediate conditions, and there's a new condition. You have units and castles. You're placing them on a board, and if you have a unit in all of the different places on the board, that's an immediate win condition. Now, there's also a slide quest that replaces the military track, and it is different because the Fellowship's trying to move that ring and slide it to the right, get all the way to the end of where the ring is to win. But if they get caught from behind, they will lose. Much like science, if you get 6 of the different race tokens, then you'll win. And at the top there are, instead of having wonders, they are shared landmarks, which you can get, and it's a race to those since anyone can get them. All right, now before I get to the moment you've been waiting for, I wanted to let you know that Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, and they just launched their 4.5 Kickstarter, which will introduce the new Galactic Mycroft and Watson Game Toppers with interchangeable rail inlays, as well as new game mats, miniature gaming terrain packs, leg kit options, dining covers, accessories, and amazing package deals. Search for Game Toppers on Kickstarter or go to GameToppersLLC.com. First things first, Vintage Dutré, my favorite board game artist, does this. Every time he does a game, it usually raises the game a full point because it so draws you in. The Vintage Dutré art here, as normal, is fantastic. I will say that this game, again, this is a first impressions. I've only played it once. I observed a second game that I wasn't playing. I was kind of playing with somebody, but you know, it is what it is. So it's more like a first impressions. But what I liked better, I think this is better than the original Seven Wonders Duel, and I'll tell you why. This game's even more streamlined than Seven Wonders Duel, if you can imagine that, because Seven Wonders Duel is like a streamlined version of Seven Wonders, right? And some of the reasons for that is the currency is much quicker to calculate. Like in the old one, you'd like, oh, I don't have any bricks. I don't have enough bricks. Okay, well, how many does my opponent have? My opponent has this many bricks. Okay, so now I have to spend this many coins. Okay, I don't have enough for that. Oh, well, they have 2 of these things, and so I could spend 1 for this or 2 for that, or I get this other card that, ooh, I don't have any that's gonna cost me 4. Like, you're doing this mental gymnastics that wasn't really the fun part of the game. The fun part of the game was everything else. In this, it's just like 1 coin per missing item. Doesn't matter how many they have, doesn't matter whatever. So it sped the game up. It made it a lot more snappy. And again, you're not using your brain to figure out things that weren't as important to strategy as it was more minutia. And again, it didn't crazily bother me in the original game, but having it not there went, whoa. I didn't realize that was a glaring problem, but it almost seems like one now that I played it without it. More streamlined. The game's more tense, because there's no scoring. You do not score in this game. You can't get to the end like Seven Wonders Duel and go, well, none of the victory conditions were met. That ends the game immediately. Let's go to points, right? No. Like, you're either winning on one of those victory conditions or you're not, and one of those conditions is basically the tiebreaker, whoever's winning on that. So no scoring, only immediately win conditions, and it's awesome. The sliding quest, that's really cool. Instead of the military track, you have the sliding quest, and it's interesting because you slide one thing to have them go towards the rings, but then you have the other thing on top that kind of chases them, and if they catch them, they win, or if the other one gets to the ring, they win. The way that that works and looks visually is stimulating, but it's also kind of fun to slide them, and it works as well, if not better, than looking at the military track. Plus, you now have that central board that has removable units that you can put on there, and you can go in there and do quick combat. It's like, oh, I put one in, I take out one of yours. Super simple, snappy, quick, streamlined. This game does not have an ounce of fat on it. But you can also put castles, which by default cannot be removed, but there are some special abilities that allow you to do that. But very streamlined. You're trying to just get presence in everywhere, and that's sort of a fight. So it's not just a tug of war like before. You're actually combating in different areas. But again, it's super streamlined. The landmark tiles, those are basically the wonders. But like in 7 Wonders Duel, you're drafting those wonders, or you're starting with a set, and only you are going to do them. Here, they're out there, and both of you are fighting for it. And both of you can see, oh shoot, if they get this, they're going to be able to do that, which is going to kill me. Oof. It's going to cost me a lot more gold to do this now, but I got to do it because otherwise they'll do it. So now you're like racing to either get the ability you want or stop the other player from getting the ability. And man, it just makes it more tense. Wow. I was very impressed with this. This coming from someone who, quite honestly, I don't really care about the theme or the IP. I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm not into the whole culture of movies and books of fantasy and this and that. I don't care that it's Lord of the Rings, but I liked it better than the original. And that's really saying something. That means if you like Lord of the Rings, you're going to go gaga over this, especially if you liked 7 Wonders Duel at all. If you didn't, you don't have to play it. You don't have to know the original. The game is better. Only negative thing I think I could say is that some people might not like, or they might miss having the final scoring aspect. Because you're going after 3 victory conditions. Also mentioned that one of the victory conditions is like the science in the original game, but now it's races, I think it's called, or something like that. Basically, it's the same thing as science in the old one. So that's not really a difference. That works the same way, which is why I didn't really mention it much here. But some might miss that aspect of no immediate condition, let's go to scoring, because that is an avenue of strategy in the original 7 Wonders Duel. I kind of liked not having it there, because again, it made the game quicker, snappier, more tense, things like that. But I could see that some people might be like, oh, it's just that whoever has more presence on the board if you lose, so it's kind of like that's the one I should really fight for. I could see some people maybe not liking that as much, but I didn't. It did bother me. So if you're wondering about this new version of 7 Wonders Duel that has the Lord of the Rings IP on it, hopefully this will tell you after just 1.5 plays I've had of it what I thought, and hopefully this helps you make an informed decision. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relations through board games by helping you find the next one you love.